This episode of Good Morning Wilmington is brought to you by DART, Delaware's public transit service, moving you forward.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good morning. How we doing? Happy Monday.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. I got I am going back to. I'm in school, so I'm going after my master's at Goldie Beacom. Yeah.
Good
So
job.
my classes are getting ready to start up this week, so I'm trying to get myself organized and prepared and ready to go. So
Both of us in school.
I know, because you're going for it too, right?
You guys have that.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I got to celebrate Relax, Relate, Release. Last week I had been working on my application to become certified through OSD for my business. So it's like 24 pages long. Oh my gosh. So I got to celebrate and have some drinks.
There you
Nothing
go.
wrong with it.
There you go.
Ain't nothing
And
good
dude, I
but a
relaxed
drink.
and
Yeah.
enjoyed my
Listening
weekend.
to us in school.
Yeah.
We need them.
When that semester's over, we'll be like, woo!
When it's over,
Well,
in the process.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
It depends on how painful the assignments are that week, for sure.
I gotta tell my professors,
That's
don't
wishes,
judge.
too.
Don't judge me.
Don't judge
Don't
me.
judge me.
You know.
No.
So, speaking of judgment, have you guys heard about the Wilmington Procurement Inclusion Study?
I heard a bit about it, but I'm actually really glad that you brought that up, because
Yeah.
I would love to pick your brain on all of this.
So
Explain this to me.
I'm very excited. The mayor's office reached out to Councilwoman Dixon, who recommended Miller 3, who is a consulting firm that's going to come in and do an assessment and a study on the procurement process. So
Okay.
for
Exciting.
those of you that are out there, specifically women and minorities, minority-owned businesses,
Yes.
you guys can definitely, you're going to benefit from this, because this study is going to basically assess special recommendations and changes on the city code, internal programming. It's going to pretty much assess, when you're going after these contracts, what's working and what isn't. So for
really
women
exciting.
and minority-owned business owners, you're going to benefit from this study. Now, it's going to be a year-long study. And talking to Councilwoman Dixon last week, she shared with me that this is going to be one of many studies that's to come. I don't know if it's going to be still with Miller 3, but there's going to be other studies that's going to come with different departments throughout the city. So
Now, do we know what kind of what sparked all this?
Maybe more inclusion.
that's it.
Well, I mean, well, we've been needing that for a
seriously, to
long
mix it up.
time.
Well, no, it's very different. And this is to my understanding, and I know that you are well versed in the world of politics, but for me, as a minority women-owned business, I have to apply in order to get inclusion to bid on requisitions through the state and the city. So in order for it to be a little more fair, because I am a small business, because I make under a certain dollar amount, I'm also a woman, I'm a Black woman. So
Checking all the boxes.
I'm checking all the boxes, definitely. So to make it more fair, more inclusive, so it's not all about these larger firms, it's not all about these male-owned firms.
Yeah.
And they think about people like little old
Yeah,
And
but
then I
see,
think
for me,
about
it's one of those.
who just sat down with the administrator too.
Right.
I'm sure something like this, that the administrator of what is SBA,
Yes.
Yeah,
would
the Small
definitely
Business Administration.
applaud this kind of thing, because
Definitely.
when you've had, and I would encourage any municipality to go through, I'm big on SWOT analysis, but of course it's not a SWOT analysis.
Right.
But I'm big on doing studies and audits. But while I'm for that, let's make sure that, and it's my hope, and I'm sure Councilwoman Dixon would agree, that when they're doing these kind of studies, that you don't just provide the recommendations. It's then going to be up to the
That you
legislator
follow
to
through.
follow through.
Absolutely.
So, I'm very excited, because it's going to benefit a lot of minority businesses.
Yeah.
for
Great.
this.
And Councilwoman Dixon, Councilwoman at Large, Dixon, she also has a business. She's about to celebrate 10 years coming up.
Yeah.
I think it's in September. Congratulations to you. So she's a business owner. She does a lot. So I think,
Especially with the labor union.
exactly.
Yep.
So I
So
think
this
she's
is
a
gonna
great
be very
person to
Be leading this charge.
definitely
Yeah.
help lead this. So,
Yeah, so-
I'm excited to see how this goes and
Yeah.
to get this feedback. And I wonder how they're going to pick like the focus groups and.
Well, I know
all
that
of that.
there's going to be a committee. According to Councilwoman Dixon, we should probably get her on. There's
That would be
definitely going to
amazing.
be.
Yeah, that would be great.
There's definitely, Councilwoman Dixon said, there's definitely probably going to be a committee that's going to be working with this consulting firm that's going to be coming in and addressing this. So I'm
love
excited.
More information
Yeah.
on this, definitely.
It's going to be. So I would encourage all of you to reach out to your local council members. If you live in the city of Wilmington, be sure to first, of course, reach out to Councilwoman Dixon and or the mayor's office, but any of your local council members, reach out to them as it relates to this study.
Now, I hope they have enough time with everything COVID going on.
Listen, and you know, we might. I hope we don't go through another shutdown. But did you guys also hear about the COVID breakthrough cases? They're going up.
Yes.
They are going up.
We're now looking at 3,500 cases in Newcastle County between July 15th and August.
I think 12th.
August 12th.
Yeah.
Fully vaccinated people with either 2 shots or the single.
The Johnson
I'm like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about this last show too. You know, I was very skeptical. I was on the show with Ivan last year. I was like, I don't know, but got it done, and now here we are seeing the rise of it. And it kind of contradicts what was both the president's and our governor's push to hit that 70% mark of getting vaccinated. So
I can't help but to think about that.
How are you guys feeling about this?
I'm really concerned because 0.2% of the cases show the Delta variant being stronger, but that's just all that's reported. So it's very contagious, and I'm just curious how we're going to continue to track it, and if the data that we have, how accurate is it really right now?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I mean, and I'm always a little weary about percentages too, because percentages it can make it look worse than it is sometimes. Like I like seeing actual numbers personally. But with this, I've heard many people who are fully vaccinated, who did have the Delta variant, and they became positive for their test, but they said it was just kind of like having the flu. They were down for a couple of days, 2 weeks. They obviously quarantined once they found out, but they came right back. Everything was good. So I feel like the vaccine is important. I think people really should go out and get that vaccine. Even if it might not combat it completely, you're not necessarily immune, but it will help. It'll keep you out of the hospital.
It's a start. Man.
Yeah.
The most recent recommendations and shifts from the CDC.
And you just never know what's going to come tomorrow. I mean, today it's the Delta variant, but there are other variants out there. There's other strains. So you don't know what next week's going to bring or next month.
Now they do have booster shots.
Remember,
you were concerned about the booster shots. So that's going to start around September 20th, I believe.
I think 30th. Is it 20th or 30th?
It might be the 30th.
I think so.
It's probably the 30th.
At the end of September, somewhere around there.
At the end of September. So those who receive the immunization prior, you can get your booster shot around the end of September. So
and we saw how COVID played such a huge role even in the arts community too. COVID played a role for everyone, not just the arts, but I just thought of the arts because you, my dear, have the opportunity of sitting down with an award-winning pianist. Is that the right?
She's a pianist.
She's
yes.
a pianist. Jennifer
Margaret
Barker.
Barker. Yes, from Scotland. So I am super excited.
Yes.
I ain't gonna try.
I can't wait to listen.
Yeah. And I actually I was trying to listen to a lot of her pieces on my way in this morning, and so I kind of get that in my head. It made me want to go back to Ireland. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I did. It's her Celtic influence is certainly in everything that she does. So I'm really excited to get ready to go and sit down and talk to her.
Well, we're gonna send JJ over to Jennifer. All right. So we will be right back.
We're doing a lot of talking here in Washington, in the Senate, about infrastructure. What's that really mean? Well, if we move forward on the bipartisan infrastructure plan that I'm supporting, that's going to mean millions more dollars for Delaware and Delawareans to improve Amtrak and SEPTA, to improve our roads and bridges up and down the state, to make sure we've got better access to broadband so that your cell phone calls don't drop as you drive up and down the state, so that kids can get access to Wi-Fi for school, and we can take advantage of telemedicine. I'm excited about a $580 billion new proposal for infrastructure for this country. But more than anything, I'm interested about how this will create good, high-paying jobs in Delaware and make our state easier to live in, more equitable and just, and more accessible in this digital age. For more information, go to my website, coons.senate.gov. Thanks.
Welcome back, you guys. So I have the privilege of sitting down now with Jennifer Barker, who is the new Master's Fellowship recipient. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
And I failed to mention, you are a composer and a pianist and all of these things. I mean, I was looking at everything that you have done. I mean, the things that you have done musically is internationally known or has been performed. So, I mean, what was it like receiving this award?
It was a great honor because
Yeah.
obviously I've been in Delaware 20 years now, and it's quite a long process to apply for this award. You have to apply for the emerging or the established first. You have to win that, and then you have to wait 10 years. And then after the 10 years, it's a cycle of 3 years for each of the areas or the genres.
Yeah.
So it was quite a wait. It was about a 13 or 14-year wait for me. Wow. So I'm really, really delighted to finally have received that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such an honor. I was looking up sort of the guidelines and the application process for all of this. And like you said, you have to, in order to get the Master's Fellowship, you have to be a recipient of the first two.
That's correct.
So that, and even the competition for those first two are really difficult as well. I hear it's so many people apply. So congratulations on the first one.
Thank you very much.
And now this one. But another thing, I'm glad that you mentioned that you've been in Delaware now for 20 years.
Yes.
So you're originally from Scotland, yes?
That's correct, yes.
Wow.
I'm from a little village called Blainfield near Loch Lomond in Stirlingshire. So that's in the middle of Scotland. And there's a beautiful castle there. If anyone ever wants to visit Scotland, I recommend Stirling Castle rather than Edinburgh Castle.
Okay.
Everyone goes to Edinburgh, but Stirling's actually much nicer.
Next time I'm there,
I'm
gonna
not
check it out.
biased. But they have beautiful tapestries inside the castle. They actually had them remade. It took 6 years to develop them again and hang them up on the walls of the castle. Oh, wow. So it's a beautiful area. But I've been in the United States since 1987.
Wow. Now if you don't mind me asking, what brought you to the States?
Originally, I came for a year and I went to Syracuse University because they were going to allow me to do a master's degree in 1 year.
Okay.
And I thought I'd be too homesick. So I didn't want to leave for 2 years. So I chose Syracuse for many reasons, but the main one being I could go for 1 year. And of course, now, 30 years later, 20, I'm not sure how long it is now.
Yeah.
It's been a long, long time. And all of my family's still back home, except for my husband, who's over here.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, my dad's the same way. He was, I think, more just the adventurous person. And
Yes.
he mechanic his whole life. Left
Right.
Ireland at 19, the only one, the oldest of 6.
Yes.
Never went back.
Yeah.
Yep. So
That happens a lot.
It does.
They talk about a huge brain drain from Scotland and Ireland.
Oh.
Really, I mean, there's only 4.5 million people in Scotland, but they say that there are more Scots and more Irish outside of the country than inside the country.
Really? See, I did not know that. That's very interesting. So my next question is this. Being from Scotland, how much of your heritage, I mean, I heard some of the music that you have composed, so tell me a little bit how much of it influences what you write?
These years, actually a lot. When I
Yeah.
first started composing, I first came over to the United States as a pianist and then got into composition. And when I was first learning about composition, I was learning about the canon of the traditional classical music.
Okay.
And then as time went on, I realized that if I was going to find my own voice, I needed to develop that. And I also realized that I had to let some of the Celtic music into that. So over the years, I've sort of developed an amalgamation of classical music and Celtic music, more classically based with a Celtic influence.
Yeah.
So I list it as classical music, contemporary classical music with a Celtic twist.
And it certainly is. I mean, I heard a couple of pieces today, again, just to prepare to meet you, and it's fantastic. It makes me think of Ireland and Scotland and my time there, for sure.
That's my hope.
Yes, I mean, and you have succeeded,
Yeah.
for sure. So, but my next question is, because this was something I really wanted to ask you. I know you've been here in the United States for a while. You started in Syracuse. Us being a Wilmington, Delaware show, why did you pick Delaware of all places in the U.S. to really put your roots down?
Well, I was teaching in Virginia and I saw a position open up at the University of Delaware. But I actually chose it, even I'm delighted I actually won the job.
Yeah.
But I chose to apply out of, obviously I could have applied to other schools as well. But I chose Delaware because I used to be in Philadelphia for 4 years.
Okay.
And I also knew this region very well, and I knew a lot of the performers in Delaware from having been in the Philadelphia region. And I knew it was an area that I wanted to stay and visit, and I knew I could do a lot here. So I applied to the job, and thankfully I got it.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed it. My colleagues here are absolutely wonderful. As I said before, I knew them from when they played in Philadelphia, but getting to know them better, I see what they do within the Delaware region, and they're really, really excellent.
Oh my, they really are. I saw some pieces from them as well, and they're fantastic.
Yes.
So going back to this master's fellowship that you have received, I mean, like I said earlier to you, I know there's a lot of guidelines, a lot of things that happen. Tell me a little bit about, with the money that you receive as a part of this grant, what does that usually go toward?
Well, what they want you to do is to use it to actually advance your career. And so to basically give you some sort of financial support to move forward with your career. And so for me, that's composition. And so what I'm going to use it for, and what I've already been using it for, is hiring Delaware musicians. We're about to do a CD recording. We've already done several filming sessions because I do a lot of music videos. And so really in many respects, although it's advancing my career, I'm finding ways to actually use it to work with more Delaware musicians.
That's fantastic. I love that. I mean, I know you're no stranger to recording because you have 2 other CDs, correct?
Yeah, I have quite a few now.
You have a couple out there. Okay.
I think I'm almost up to about 10 now, and I've got about 3 more in the works.
Wow.
But there are 2, you're correct that there are 2 that are completely just my music.
Right.
The other ones, one of my pieces is actually on a CD that has other people's music on it as well.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, definitely check her out. There's a lot of really cool things. I mean, she's also done pieces for documentaries and other film work. She's done music videos. Jennifer, you were fantastic. I know you've been all over the place. Do you travel a lot?
Yes,
Okay.
A lot, yes.
Yeah. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to sit down and
Thank
talk
you.
with you. Check her out, you guys. But hang in there. We will be right back.
All right, now we're here with Gayle and Jeremy. They are the co-founders of Gable Music Ventures. They're going to talk to us about the Ladybug Festival. Hi, folks. How are you?
Fine. How are you? Good
I'm
morning.
very well. Good morning. Yes. So listen, you guys are here to talk to us about the Ladybug Festival. It's something that's been going on for a few years now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for 10 years now.
10 years.
10 years.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yes, and we're really excited that we have a variation of the festival this year. It's not the festival in the traditional way
sure.
because we could not close the streets down and do
Yeah.
all that. So we're having 11 different venues up and down Market Street
Oh, nice.
on the 31st of August. So
Okay.
we're very excited about it and our continuing efforts to elevate women in music.
I love it. So
Thank you.
question, what are some of the venues that are going to be used?
Jeremy, how about you?
Yeah, well, so the headliner performances are going to be playing in the Crown at the Queen from
Nice.
8 to 10.
Okay.
From 5 to 8, we've got 5 different locations on Loma, which is traditionally where the event has always happened. So formerly Zyka, which is now going to be launching as Amity Bistro, is
Okay.
one of the venues.
It's a new restaurant.
Oh,
Academy,
check that out.
Academy for Peace. Both Artscape locations, Artscape 1 and the newly done Artscape 2.
Okay.
And
Studio on
on Market. Thank you, Gayle.
Studio on Market. All right.
And so that's Loma. And then we have street performances happening on the 400 block, kind of
Oh, that's
connecting
exciting.
performance. So there will be just musicians right out there on the street.
Okay.
Moving up the block, we're using the Christina Cultural Arts Center,
Nice.
which is a beautiful
downstairs
little space.
level.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And who are some of the performers that we have this
Oh.
year? Just to name a few.
Well, our headliner is Soraya, and
very nice.
they're just amazing. So we're
Yeah.
very excited about that. We have so many different performers. Well, the most popular one around here these days is Danielle, known as Shug.
Shug Daniels.
Shug Daniel.
Shug Daniels.
She works for us, but she is also performing for us that night as well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We've brought in people from kind of all over the Philadelphia. There's a couple of people I think coming in from New York. I'm not I don't really remember
Possible.
exactly.
It's hard to keep it all in
We
track.
have like a lot of local people as
Yeah.
well. Rachel Shane for one.
All right.
She's been a big piece of the Ladybug.
And then
Festival
we've got
for years.
Baltimore in the house because Wicked Sycamore is coming up from Baltimore.
Nice. Okay. So let me ask you this: how did you two get into the Ladybug Festival? Where did you come up with the premise for it? Tell me. I'm curious.
That's a story.
Yeah. I bet.
Gail's got it perfected in 30 seconds.
I've got, a very condensed view of that. So in 2012, when Firefly was announced here in Delaware, everybody was so excited about it. But one of the things that came out of that was that people were saying, "Oh, there's no locals playing on Firefly lineup," and everybody was really kind of upset about that. Simultaneously, the owners of the Second and Loma Street, Debbie Schwartz and Mike Schwartz, were hoping to have some kind of a block party to say thank you to the people who had moved in down there. Remember, this is a while ago now. This is 10 years. There was nobody down there. And so we had started bringing music there. So they said, "Here, we're going to give you a little bit of money to throw a block party." And we said, "Great." And we started thinking like, "Oh, let's just like play off of that Firefly idea."
I love it.
And so we started thinking of bugs and, what could we do? And
Firefly.
And we said,
Ladybug.
"Oh, let's do, how about Ladybug?" And I said, "Let's make it about women."
I love it.
And we realized in doing that women continue to be so underrepresented in the festival market. I mean, if you look at festivals, most don't even have 25% female headliners or on the lineup at all. Now, there's festivals that are doing a much better job at that, like Firefly this year and Philly Folk Fest, for name a couple, have gotten up to, I think they're almost up to 50% now.
Yeah, Philly Folk Fest has been doing 50% for a while.
Long time. So, we decided this was something that, while we kind of we started it as kind of like a funny kind of thing, we realized that we stumbled on something.
You definitely did.
And
we didn't know it was a state bug.
And we didn't know Ladybug's a state bug.
We found
Wait,
out.
Ladybugs are
Is
big
the
bugs?
state bug.
Delaware. Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, so we like
today.
announced
wow.
the entire
Interesting.
event, and then one of the artists was like, "I love that it's the state bug." We were
Oh,
like,
look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
winky dink.
So, we
Happy eyes.
continue this mission to give women an opportunity to be the headliners, perform. We even hire mostly women to run the stages and the sound.
sound engineer.
I love that
Yep.
representation.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So it's all about women, and we continue to grow this festival. Though, we're sad that we couldn't bring it back in its traditional form this year.
Yeah.
It is still free to attend thanks to our sponsors. Like Chase has just been amazing in supporting the arts.
Oh, yeah. Downtown Vision, ShopRite. I mean,
Very
they're
nice.
awesome community partners for us to make it
Nice.
possible.
So let me ask you this. With understanding that COVID has definitely plagued the performing arts realm in such a major way to where we have had a lot of artists who have been without work, I love that you guys are bringing this back to help spotlight and support. What kind of COVID precautions are you taking this year?
Great question.
It's a very good question. Thank you for asking that too.
No worries. I think everyone needs to know. I know I want to go and partake, so
Well, and it's COVID precautions.
I don't want anyone being,
yes,
100%. Antsy about not coming out.
Yeah, and it's COVID precautions is the reason that we're not shutting down the street in the
Got
first
you.
place. So we're scaling back because we've had 7,000 to 10,000 people that have attended the event in the past, and kind of penning everybody in to that city block just seemed like not a good idea. Okay. So we wanted to spread it out. By doing that, we're there's like I said, with 11 different locations for music happening. It's going to spread everybody out a little bit. It's going to lower the attendance kind of all around. And then we are having signage and asking everybody to wear masks while they're indoors, making sure all the venues have full hand sanitizer, doing what we can. It's difficult because there's not a state mandate in place right now.
Right.
And we don't have a point of entrance for our event to kind of like check vaccinations, things like that. So we're definitely doing the best we can. But the main reason that we're not shutting the block down and doing the big block party is to keep people safe.
You guys are being responsible about it, so that's great. Yep. Now, what else can we expect from Gable? Because you guys have lots going on. You have your thumb on the community of the arts. Like, I absolutely love it. What do you guys have next?
Yeah.
Well, we have had first I want to kind of recap a little bit. We've had a great summer.
Awesome.
Did a lot of outdoor music. We've done a lot of events, which will continue into September, into October, I think. the Get Out Around Town events, the GOAT events. You see that branding on different
Okay.
things. So we'll continue to bring live music in different parts of the city.
Very nice.
There's still farmers markets that are going on where we have music going on with that as well. We've got some big plans for next year.
Well, all right.
And we're hoping that we're going to have some larger events coming into the city. So
All right.
we're excited about that.
Well, maybe you'll give us a visit back when
Yes.
we hit the top of the year so you can let us know some things that you have going on.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone, don't forget to check out the Ladybug Festival. It'll be right downtown on Market Street Mall.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
That was a really cool interview with a Ladybug. That's a lot of cool information, everything they got coming up.
I'm excited for the festival.
Gayle and
Me
Jeremy,
too.
They are
Wait.
so awesome. They really have their thumb on like everything music around here. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah.
But the Ladybug Festival, yeah. And
Where's
so-
it going to be?
So they have a bunch of different venues that are going to host the scene for some of the concerts.
Okay.
But it's going to be along Market Street Mall and down
that's
in
where
the
usually
Luma
is, I
section.
thought.
Yeah, but they're not doing like the street closures because of COVID. So
Gotcha.
it's still going to be a really great time.
It's
though,
more
you know.
fun when it's private, kind of. You know, it's blocked
tucked
up.
in.
Yeah,
Little
a little
tucked
more
in.
I know.
exclusive,
I
right?
know. I was like, it felt important.
I know, but I'm just glad that it's back.
Yes,
Yeah.
Honestly,
Definitely.
I mean,
Somehow.
that's one of those.
They are too. They
The
are too.
Ladybug Festival was always one of my favorite things
Yeah.
to go and do every year.
And you got to sit down with an award-winning pianist.
No.
My God.
Yeah.
And
From
I was
Scotland?
from Scotland, yeah. And
That's
like I
awesome.
was looking up like the guidelines and the process for her to get this fellowship, this master's fellowship, and it's intense.
I can
Really?
only imagine.
Oh.
How long
It's
has she been
really
playing
intense.
piano, did she say? Or?
I think her entire life, honestly.
Wow.
But then not only that, but the fact that her music has been performed internationally. She's internationally award-winning. Like, whew.
That's so dope.
I mean,
pretty
and the
dope.
traveler in me is just like, I want your life.
I know.
Honestly.
I love it. And I just her background. I love that. I love that altogether. And speaking of background, did you guys, sadly to say, speaking of background, did you hear about Haiti's earthquake?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
sad one.
It's personal for me because I got family from the Caribbean, and I know, you know, to see how many are injured. The magnitude of the earthquake was 7.2. So I can only imagine
Yeah.
how
I mean,
big
and
that
I
is.
mean,
Really
I know you're
devastating.
not alone. I mean, Wilmington alone, we have a really big
A large
population
Huge.
here. So I mean, I think it's affecting you know our population here as well,
Yeah.
our communities here as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know for the viewers that are watching, you know, there are ways that you can help out. New Jersey for Haiti, they are taking in medical supplies. They're taking in every and any resource that you can possibly donate to help those that are struggling. Just make sure if you want to donate to visit NJ4, the number 4, Haiti.org. So
Yeah, they
we'll
could
make
use the
sure.
love,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, and I know it's tradition. I've seen my family that are from the Caribbean. They send like these big
Big-
barrel
Yes,
tubs.
big tubs. They
I remember
see
I
all the
was
time.
like, what is that? Like, it's huge. So I hope New Jersey, what is it? New Jersey for Haiti is ready to
receive all that.
receive all that because it's.
I'm sure they are,
it's
and
huge.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
are. I mean, and what's happening there is crazy. I mean, the numbers just keep going up
I
and
know.
up for those those who killed
Yes.
and the injury. I mean, the thing last I heard was like what 2,100 that were.
That were killed.
Yeah.
Probably going
And
up.
I mean, I know it's
that
just
were
going up.
injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm more in fear for them because of the storm.
The next one
right
that's-
after that.
Season.
Yeah, it's hurricane season.
It
So
is.
the infrastructure, alone is just crippling. You see on the screen, everything just falling apart. So our prayers are for everyone in Haiti.
Definitely.
Speaking of infrastructure too, the
Gratefully.
infrastructure bill has passed through the
Yes.
Senate, right? It has yet to pass the House, but I think we will see it pass.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's a good chance. Good
It's
chance.
a huge chance, and
This is
the
like the first
largest.
time in a long time that we
Largest.
were
One of
able
this
to-
size,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's there's a list of here. So there's over $100 billion in roads and bridges, about
Needed.
$39 billion to modernize our nation's transit summit.
Needed.
It made me think of that SEPTA
Uh-huh. Invoices.
Invoices. We better scream that stuff.
Yes.
It's like, wait
Make
a
sure
minute.
it's legit.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can get a nice software system
right.
for public transit for
right.
those invoices for sure.
Makes me wonder. I'm like, And then there's about $250 million for new low emission ferry pilot program.
Yeah.
And then there's $73 billion in our nation's energy infrastructure, including $3.5 billion
Yes.
for the weatherization assistance program. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They're doing something with the drinking water too.
Right.
Remember we
Yes, we were
were
talking about the
that
drinking
one
water.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And we're seeing the benefit of it here, because I drive like Miss Daisy now when I'm on 95, because I get so scared, because everything with the lanes being
all
shortened
of
now,
the,
I'm like,
the
I have a little
construction.
bit of I have a little bit of PTSD from living in New York and driving over the Verrazano Bridge.
Oh.
gosh.
I don't know if any of you guys have ever driven over the Verrazano Bridge. It is literally like this big,
man.
and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And so, like every now and when I have to come through 95, it reminds me of it a little bit. I'm just like,
Yeah, I've ever since they started working on I-95, I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna leave 2 car spaces.
Yep.
You know, you're trained to keep a car space, and
Nope,
leaving
you get 2.
Yeah.
You get 2.
Can't do it. Can't
I
do
think
it.
this is really awesome, though. It's really, I think it's about time for a lot of these infrastructural items to be revitalized. So I love that we're going to focus on drinking water and the roadways, and then making sure that people have internet and all, just all of the
All of
basic
it's
framework
needed.
of what's needed for us to continue on with our day-to-day. So
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, the jobs, the job
Exactly.
security and the
Yeah.
job creation
Yes.
for all of
that
this.
is exciting, and right now that's important
It's
because with
super
COVID happening,
important.
a lot of people
Yep.
ended up out of work because of COVID, and so jobs being created, it helps people get back to work, and a part of it is helping to
And for it to happen right after COVID, this is even better.
it is
Securing
better.
those jobs, because
Exactly.
folks were
It's
struggling.
needed. Yes, it's needed because there were a lot of people that lost their jobs because of COVID. So
Yeah.
but then like the parents who are going back to work that need childcare and all of that, like this is a part of that.
Yep.
LDR, you know, this is one of her big things, and
Senator Coons.
So,
Yeah.
I really think this is awesome. I'm super supportive of what they're doing to try to get this sent all the way straight through. So
I'm excited. Well, you were talking about the whole drinking water. We're about to go have some drinks ourselves.
I know.
Leave
You guys
it-
have fun.
Leave it to the crew of DETV.
I know. I'm really excited to go over. So we're gonna go run over to Constitution Yards, Jordan and I, and go sit with Jimmy
gonna be fun.
from Autumn Arch Project.
Yeah,
So
we're going to
I'm
Constitution
really
Yards. I
excited.
need change. So we gonna-
Yeah.
we're going to have fun.
Have a little fun, try some flights, and have a nice conversation with Jimmy to learn more about the Autumn Arch Brewery that they have right outside of New Orleans. So, ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Have fun.
All right.
All right, folks, now we are here at Constitution Yards down at the riverfront, and we have a very special guest. We have Jimmy Vennard. He is from Autumn Arch Project Brewery. Hi, Jimmy.
What's going on, Jimmy?
Hi, glad to be here.
Thanks for
Awesome
being.
to
Thanks
have
for
you.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm looking at these bottles, and well, first off, these are nice and cool. We have the mist hanging off, but this bottle is super sexy. So I can't wait for you to tell us about that in a little bit. But tell me a little about your brewery. So you're the founder, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And this is a family-owned business?
Yeah, so we, Autumn Arch Beer Project, we opened in 2019, so we're about 2 years old. And I opened the business with my brother, Dan, and my wife, Catherine. And we are very involved in running the business. So we're a family business.
Wow.
We have about 12 employees and a full-time brewer, and a manager for a tasting room down in Newark, Delaware.
Nice. Okay.
Now, do you have any other locations, or?
We just have the one location right now,
Okay.
just outside of the city of Newark,
Okay.
and we're in like a big industrial warehouse.
Okay.
So we have these big garage doors with all the windows on it, and when weather's
to
really
where we are.
nice, yeah, you open them up and you
Yeah.
get the breeze coming in and out. We brew all our beer right on site.
Okay.
So when you're sitting down in our tasting room, you can kind of see the brewery, and if it's in the middle of the day, like the brewers, moving the beer around and kegging and doing all kinds of stuff.
Now,
That
Jim,
sounds neat.
tell me a little bit about your background. What got you into brewing beer?
Yes.
Yeah, so my background, I'm an engineer by trade.
Okay.
So I went to University of Delaware,
All
right.
did chemical engineering there, a lot of fun. So I was doing that for quite a while, and then my brother moved right down the street from me, probably almost 10 years ago. And we decided we were going to do like a backyard hobby together. And home brewing is what we kind of decided we were going to do. So we started brewing beer, on the back patio, and that was a lot of fun. We brewed some good beers, and it got to the point where, we were like, well, we should consider doing this as a business. This might be a fun kind of side venture.
Okay.
And that was kind of like the start of an idea right there.
That sounds really neat. Now, I can't help but to wonder what all goes into brewing beer. Like, how long does it take, first and foremost?
Yeah. Seems like a process.
I know, right?
Oh, it's definitely a process. So the 3 beers that I have in cans in front of me, they take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks from start to finish. And that's,
Okay.
you get all the grain together, you brew it all in one day, and then it sits in a tank to ferment for about 2 to 3 weeks. And that's what converts all the sugars in the beer to alcohol.
Wow.
Ooh.
Now, what differentiates you from other breweries?
Yeah, good question. So that's why I brought this other beer that's in this really fancy looking bottle.
So sexy.
So yeah,
So
that's
Vanna
on
Black.
that's on purpose. So Autumn Arch Beer Project, one of the things that separates us from a lot of other breweries in the area is we have a strong emphasis on making sour beer. So if you come into our brewery, we have 50 or 60 barrels kind of stacked up, really any place that we can fit them. And that's what holds our sour beer. And a sour beer takes anywhere from 6 months to up to 2 years
That's
to
dedication.
mature.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. So if it's taking that long, then imagine, what is it, by the gallons that you guys are making this, or like?
Yeah, so we'll
About a
usually
ton.
do
Ton.
batches.
Yeah, right. That gallon ain't even
About a
enough.
ton.
Good Lord.
Anywhere from
a long
150,
time.
It is.
150 to 300 gallon batches at a
Okay.
time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is dedication to really take and start a process 6 months to 2 years before you actually
Yeah.
debut it.
Yeah.
Kristen will tell you my patience is thin, so to be sitting there, it's like.
So you'll focus here, right?
1
And-
month, I'm
'cause this,
done.
This takes patience.
That's good. Now,
Interesting.
help me understand, smoothie beers?
What?
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, what is that?
So have you guys had any of those like really brightly colored, kind of really thick and creamy, fruity beers? A lot of breweries
No.
are making them now.
So, disclaimer, I'm a
No.
Guinness person.
Ooh,
So
okay. Not a
I-
fruity beer.
Not a fruity beer. Get
No,
me
I'm
to
not
the
adventurous.
point.
I wouldn't mind a fruity beer. JJ, she had me try some beer that tastes a little like Fruity Pebbles at the Jazz Fest, but I have no idea. JJ, I'm going to have to get you to
Pebble
tell me
beer?
what that is called.
Smoothie beer,
I don't-
now
I
a
don't
fruity
know.
pebble beer.
But it sounds interesting to
It's-
me.
it's
Yeah,
really
that
interesting.
might have been a smoothie
I like
beer.
fruitiness. I like beer. I like smoothies.
So one of the things you can do with beer, and a lot of breweries are doing it now, is you can add like a lot of fruit to the beer, and it makes it like a little bit thicker, kind of like a smoothie, right? Which is like, yeah, for some folks, it makes the beer a lot more approachable and enjoyable. It's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
So we did a little. So we had not brewed any styles like that. We were really focused on the sour beers and some other styles we do, or we think we do well.
Okay.
So as a little April Fool's joke, we decided, we said, hey, we're going to make this, we're going to pretend that we made this style of beer, this smoothie style beer, when really it was just a plain smoothie.
Yeah.
Or-
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
we did this, and I posted on social media, and was pretty. I thought I was like way over the top in my description of the beer that everybody would get it. But not everybody got it.
Right.
They showed up at the brewery that day.
There you go.
And they wanted the beer.
There you go.
And so, you know, most folks were like, oh, you got us.
You got me.
But enough
Yeah.
people were like, oh, we really wanted that, Jimmy. And so I said, okay, we need to make these style beers. So we made these style of beers. We made a mango smoothie beer. And it's just like really bright and yellow, really thick. I mean, you're just like drinking it. You're like, wow, is this a slushy? Is this a smoothie? It's just and really sweet. So
All right.
it's a popular style beer. Yeah.
You are describing it, and I'm ready to sample.
Yeah.
Can we get a sample? Like,
I definitely want to sample. Tell us about, and I love the names of your beers, by the way.
Thanks.
Newark State of Mind.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I love that.
How far are you from University of Delaware?
We're about, I don't know, 10 minutes out of town.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty
That's
close.
not bad at all, yeah. So tell us about each of these, and then I would love for us to try them.
Do some tasting.
up your
All
Step
right.
up your vocab. Oh yeah, and then what's this one called?
Remote destination.
Yes. All right. So what are the differences between these 4 beers?
All right, so I brought, I think, a broad spectrum here.
Okay.
Although when you look at them, they're all going to be the same color, which will be kind of fun because they taste very different.
All right.
So the first one, Newark State of Mind, that's our flagship beer. We always have it on tap. It's a double IPA. So higher alcohol. It's really like dank and bitter, but also very hoppy, right? That's like the IPAs are all the rage right now.
Oh wow.
So that's what Newark State of Mind is.
Okay.
Step Up Your Vocab, it's a one-time brew, inspired from a Jay-Z song. My brother's really into hip hop, so we got a really cool label for that one. That is really approachable pale ale. Has some fruity characteristics to it, and it all comes from the yeast. There's no fruit added, so I'll be interested to see what you guys think about that.
Okay.
Okay.
And this last can here, Remote Destination, is a Belgian Wit style beer, or Belgian White.
Okay.
And that is a really popular style for summer, low alcohol, really creamy and fluffy. And we wanted a beer that people felt like, oh, I can take this out on my boat or take it fishing. It's just really easy drinking.
Yeah.
Got you.
And the last one,
The sexy bottle.
yes, is called Pulsar Navigation, and it is a sour beer. It was aged in a barrel for 12 months, and then we actually blended this beer with a young Sauvignon Blanc wine.
Ooh, I
wow.
love a
Yeah.
good Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
nice complexity to this beer.
Nice.
I can't wait to try that. I can't wait to try all of them, especially this one.
All right.
Definitely.
Let's
okay.
do it.
I'm ready to sample.
Indeed,
You
yes.
see, I'm itching. All right. So we're gonna get Gia. She's gonna play
Producer
Vanna,
Gia.
Yeah, our producer. She's gonna play Vanna White for a minute. Come over here and.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Gia. Thank you. All right.
So you want to face the Automarks
Nice.
logo towards you.
Okay.
I love the flight. This is so.
This is good presentation too.
Yes.
I like it. All right.
Turn
So-
it around
Turn
there.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, have it
Yeah.
face us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Be just my luck. Jordan Hines spills the beer. You know. Like leave it to Jordan.
Right.
Oh, we got another one.
Yes. So these
got-
are because it's one of each.
Oh,
or
I was
one
gonna
of
say.
each.
Wait a minute. Are we about to take all of this?
You don't have to drink all of it. I know they're not Guinness.
On a Monday morning.
All right.
All right. Slide that there.
Put one in front of you.
Huh?
It's one for each of us.
Oh, it's a row for each of us.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're
yes,
generous
Jordan.
here.
I'm
Okay.
not drinking two
Listen,
flights.
listen, Linda Hood.
It's Monday morning.
All right.
All right.
So what are we doing?
So I like to start just like I read a book from
Left
left
to
to
right.
right
Left to
here.
right. All right.
Okay.
So this first one is the Belgian Wit. It's the lightest of the beers.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's yeah, if you
Okay.
get the aroma.
Yeah.
I like the smell of it.
Yeah, so it's pretty light. It's got a crispness to it,
Okay.
and really delicate kind of mouthfeel. So
Okay.
take a
Here we
sip.
go.
I feel like we should make a toast to the beer.
I already started drinking. I'm like, nope, too late for that.
Okay. I
That's
like this.
good.
It is light.
That is
It's
light.
very light.
I like that. That's good.
So super light, 5% alcohol, and that's
good flavor.
just a beer made for summer. Really popular style in Europe. So we decided we were going to make a style.
I like this. And which you said this is?
Yeah, that's this beer.
Okay.
That's that one.
All right. When you said this was like
That's
a
it.
Belgium style,
Yes.
I figured I would like it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what we're drinking right now. All right.
Yeah, so we put like a
that.
cool outdoor label on that one because we think it pairs well with like outdoor adventures.
Yes, definitely.
Sweet.
Out on the yacht,
Yeah.
chilling out.
Can't go to work now. Good Lord.
I like this one. I want to finish this.
Yeah, this is good.
All right, so we're gonna try the next one. This is the Jay-Z lyric, correct?
Yes.
Yes, step up your vocab.
Step up your vocab,
All right.
inspired from a Jay-Z lyric. So if you guys, maybe for
like the smell
your
of this
viewers, you can guess the song. But this is a pale ale. So another, again, low alcohol. It's around 5.5%. And it's got like a little bit, it's a little bit hoppier. It's got slightly more bitterness than last beer. And there's some fruitiness there, but
I thought I smelled just a little.
yeah, it does
Okay.
not come from any fruit that we added to this beer. There's no fruit in this
Really?
beer. It all comes from the brewer's yeast, right? Which gives it. That's what imparts these kind of like, little notes of mango or pineapple.
That's what I
They're
smell.
very subtle.
That's what I smell.
Yeah.
All right, let's taste.
Yeah, I
It's
would
about
not.
like the communion.
I did, you know.
This
Amen.
is good. Ooh.
I would
Okay.
not know this was beer. That
You wouldn't?
no.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
I
that's.
do. I
hope
it's,
that's a
it's
good
definitely
beer.
hoppier. It's hoppier.
No, this is beer.
This is good.
Yeah. So very light and approachable.
I like this one.
That was the goal with this beer.
It is.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I taste that little hint of that hint. Yeah, this is good.
That's
Thanks.
what that was.
The hint.
I like that.
Let's go to the next.
So
On
the,
to the next.
So the next beer. So this is the biggest beer that we brought. It's just over 8% alcohol. It's a double IPA. That's our
Okay.
Newark State of Mind. It's
Alright.
always on tap at our brewery, so you
Okay.
can always get it if you stop by. If you get like a whiff of this beer, this is what a lot of brewers will describe as like a very like dank and resinous aroma.
I don't smell it as loud as the other two.
It's the aroma here is coming from a lot of the hops that we add to this beer, and more hops are in this beer than any of the other ones
Oh, so
combined.
I know what this is going to taste like. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so bitterness will be a little bit higher
Yeah.
with this one.
Definitely taste the bitterness in this one.
So you get kind of like a sharp bitterness at the beginning, but it
Yeah.
should be smooth on the back end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
I'm in a Newark state of mind. Yeah.
That is what we
Yeah.
wanted. I'm bringing the Newark State of Mind to Wilmington for today
Okay.
only.
For today. Only.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good. So what's this last one?
All right, the last
That's a
one is
sexy
going to be the
bottle.
most different of the bunch. So even though it's golden in color and
Yes.
appearance, just like all the others, the taste of this beer is going to be a lot different from the others.
Sour.
So this is a sour, and again, this is a blend of about 90% golden sour beer that we aged in our brewery for about 12 months in wine barrels.
Wow.
And then we blended that with about 10% Sauvignon Blanc, so very young wine, to give it's got some mild tartness, and you
Okay.
can, the aroma that you smell, you can smell it's very different from the others, and
It
it
is.
almost has like a farm or like barnyard element to it.
I do like the smell of that.
Okay.
So take a sip.
Well,
That was different. I like that.
So quite
all
different.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I
Definitely.
was like, pow.
All right.
so the pH is lower on this beer. It's got more acidity,
Yeah.
so that's why you get a little bit of tartness with that. Almost no hops are in this beer, so it's not bitter at all.
This is
Wow,
good.
that's really good. Yeah,
Oh my
so,
gosh.
disclaimer.
I didn't think
Jimmy,
I was
when
going
when
to
I come
enjoy
back,
it like I am.
when I come to Newark, I want these two.
All right,
Those are my go-to.
I'm gonna put them on the list for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So when
So not only do I like this bottle, but I actually like the flavor too.
yeah, it's really
That was
good.
surprising. When
was
when
really
you said it was sour, I was thinking of there's this other beer that comes in a can that is quite the sour monkey it is, and
That's good.
this is not like
like it a lot.
that. I enjoy this.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I feel like this is a lady's beer.
It's beer for men too. Don't worry.
Make it
I'm just saying that because I'm a lady.
Jesus.
That's all. Ladies sip beer too.
You know, I sit between two women on the show, so I'll
Yeah,
always
you know.
lose. I'll always lose.
But no, it's universal. Anyone can enjoy it, but I enjoyed that. That was surprising for it to be a sour beer. It has flavor and it's like smooth. it's sour but smooth, but like, I don't know, it's a little sensual on the taste buds.
Yeah.
While she describes, I'll continue sipping. So.
So
Percy would.
this is a beer. It takes a long time to make. That's why we have so many wine barrels in the brewery.
Yeah.
And there's all different styles. So this is a golden sour. We make dark sours. We have red ones. We'll put them in spirit barrels as well as wine barrels. So you get like lots of different flavor profiles and layers of like nuance and complexity.
Wow.
And that's really what like Autumn Arch does different from other breweries this year.
like that.
So when I come, remind me, which one's this again?
So this is the Step Up Your Vocab
Step
Pale
Up Your
Ale.
Vocab, and then this one was
And this was the Pulsar
fancy-
Navigation in the bottle.
All right, so
Both of
that's
these are available
Pulsar
at On March
Navigation.
Beer
All
Project.
right, that's
I
what
like
I'm
that
coming
name
for when I
for
come.
it.
This is good. Well, thank you so much, and
Delicious.
kudos to you and your family
Most
for all that you guys are
definitely.
doing.
Thanks.
I think it's great that you got it out in Newark, and I'm glad you brought it to Wilmington for today.
Yes.
So we're gonna make sure all our viewers get out to you.
All right.
And,
Yeah,
sample.
come on down to Newark and be in a Newark state of mind.
All right. All right.
Indeed. Oh, thank you so much, Jimmy. This was really fun, very enlightening. It's been a while since I've done a beer flight. So this was a great experience for me, and thank you for introducing me.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
We'll be right back.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
And we're back. We're sitting down with two organizers that are known for putting together the most exclusive function. It's known internationally as Dîner en Blanc. Michael and Sherell Flagg, how are you guys?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Michael, help me understand something. Dîner en Blanc.
Yes.
What is that?
Wifey, why don't you answer that?
Sure. Dîner en Blanc is an elegant, chic, white pop-up picnic.
Okay.
And it originated over 30 years ago in Paris, France. Wow. And since then, we have grown to over 90 cities and over 30 countries internationally.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, how did you guys get involved with this?
Well, I was looking on TV one day and I seen it go down in Philadelphia, and I just thought, why not us? Why can't we do that? So I contacted the organization. I told her that Wilmington has been riddled with gun violence, and we just needed something else to make us look a little more shiny. And they wrote back, and first they were like, no, it's too close to Philly, 26 miles away. And with a little persistence and a little throwing in, Joe Biden was our vice president, and he's from our city.
There you go.
They let us have it.
That's good.
Yeah.
And way to look out for Delaware. Now, you're born and raised here, correct?
East Lawn Avenue.
All
Actually,
right.
well, I was born in Chester.
Okay.
But Delaware, I've been here over 30 years. I went
Wow.
to Del State
Okay.
when it was Del State College.
Okay. Well, see, that's the Delaware rule. They start asking where you went to high school. When you from Delaware. You from Delaware. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention I got family that from New Orleans to Toulouse, France, and you got to say it, speak French right. Dîner en Blanc. I even got corrected. Now, this goes back in Paris, from Paris, right? That's where it originally started.
Yes, it originally started in Paris, France,
Okay.
over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And
It was Pasqua,
yeah,
and he wanted to make sure that
Francois Pasquier.
he wanted to make sure that everybody in his party would stand out, and he made everybody dress in white, and they met at an undisclosed location right in the center of Paris, and it started from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I remember looking at pictures and seeing past functions from this, and it's very exclusive too. Like it's very like who's who of Delaware.
Yes.
Like I remember seeing pictures. You guys had it one time on Market Street. You had it another time on the riverfront. What's the whole functionality? How do you get there? What's the setup? How's it all break down?
Well, actually today we actually opened up, and that means that phase 1 opened up today, so everybody is able to, register to get their tickets.
All right.
For
Make a
the
note of that.
event.
I'm gonna get myself a ticket.
Yes.
All right.
So you actually have to go and register on our website, wilmington.deneonblanc.com. And once you get registered, you'll get your emails to get started. But the whole event is, it's such an allure to it because everything is so orchestrated and planned out. So you basically have like a group leader, which you meet at a destination point to go to your secret location.
Okay.
And we have several throughout the city. Wow. And once you meet there, then you're guided into the secret location by your leaders.
Wow.
You have everything in tow because it's a pop-up picnic.
Wow.
So you're bringing all the things, but in a luxurious way, to set up a picnic. So you have your table, you have your decor, you can bring your food, but we also partner with local restaurants to use for caterers. So you can also pick up like on site. It's a whole big to do.
Now, did I hear it's at Rodney Square this year?
Who said that?
Who said no? Not
No,
Oh,
no. I can give you a hint though.
Well, okay.
It is somewhere in Wilmington.
So Rodney Square? No.
Rodney Square?
Rodney Square is
it is in Wilmington, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So you're not going to tell
Rodney
me.
Square
That's
is
all right.
Wilmington.
I get it. I get
We
it.
have a lot of wonderful places here in Wilmington.
That's good. Now, help me understand. Now, Paris, when I got to travel to France, Paris is supposed to be the town of love, right? So what would you, for our viewers now, looking at photos when you're going to Dene and Blanc, it seems like just so much love in the atmosphere, so much uplift, so much, and for you to even mention, where crime is really high right now, and to bring that kind of atmosphere to Wilmington, is that what you would say a lot of people walked away feeling? A lot of love in the air, just kumbaya, just cutting it up with friends?
Absolutely. That's what the event is all about. It's about the community. It's about coming together. It's just so amazing having the city to use as our backdrop somewhere in Wilmington. It's amazing. And I know we always talk about wanting to have everybody come together. And that was a huge reason as to why Michael wanted to bring this to Wilmington, because he just was like, we need this. We have to start coming together, and what a way, to do it other than Dene and Blanc.
Right. Now, how did you two meet? When I'm thinking about love, I'm looking at you both. How did you two meet? I'm just curious.
I usually have the same story.
I hope so.
I prayed for her one day and she walked through the salon doors.
There you go. And now look at you two. Married, happy, and you're bringing love. 12 years.
12 years married.
Wow.
Yes. Almost 20 years together.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing.
That's what the event is just really about.
Built
love.
on love. It's
Friends
just
that
built
haven't
on
met
love.
yet.
Yes.
We had family members who haven't seen each other in over 20 years. We had
I had a cousin that got engaged at our first event.
Wow.
And didn't know she was my cousin until last year.
Isn't that
during the
crazy?
pandemic.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
things like that happen. I also had a really close friend of mine who met her sister that she's never met at the event.
Wow.
So it's just a whole, allure of just camaraderie coming together.
You know what I have to say that I love about both of you is that, just from your love story, and you're bringing a very culture from Dene and Blanc to City of Wilmington, bringing that love, showing your background, that speaks volume.
Thank
To
you.
share who you both are to the city and highlight the benefit and showing how everyone can come together and have a good time and put a different look on Wilmington. That's really remarkable.
Yeah, you know what? Every city actually has their own characteristics. And Wilmington is a city built on relationships. So it almost is like everybody knows each other, or you're one person from knowing each other.
Right.
So that's what makes ours a little different. And that's why I think this makes it so good.
So tell me again, if it's not Rodney Square, it's Where is
What's
it?
your
again?
What's your next?
It's going to be at the rooftop somewhere. Is that?
We have too many people for the roof.
Okay. Okay. See, I tried. Can't say I didn't try, right?
You working though.
I'm trying. Well, I thank you guys so much for being here on this Monday morning. So be sure to sign up and get your tickets today. Special thanks to Michael and Sherell Flagg, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, Jordan. Listen, I don't speak French, so let me ask you, how do what is it? Dîner en blanc?
Dîner en blanc.
Dîner en blanc.
All right, let me hear.
Look, I took Spanish, not French.
Dîner en blanc.
All right.
No, I'm excited. You know, Michael and Sherell, they've been doing this for a while. And
Yes.
I am so excited for see you guys hosting this. Thank you guys. You know, I got to see them on Market Street one time and at the riverfront. Like, it is truly, and them being just a married couple, you know, it's founded on love from Paris,
it.
France, you know,
Love
and so
it.
they're bringing
It's
it
such a
here.
cute little classy event.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, and it's something that they do all
exclusive.
over too, right?
Yep.
Oh my God. Yes.
Super
it's
exclusive.
international.
Yes, international, super exclusive.
Yes, so if you did not get your tickets, buy them today.
Yeah.
So get to wear all white. I'm going to miss it because I'll be in Greece.
Aw.
So, you know, I really wanted to.
That's a bummer.
It is.
I'm
It
sorry.
is.
listen-
I'll just be flying back.
But listen, you guys got to go over to Constitution Yards too.
Yes, we
I'm a little
did.
jealous about that. So I,
cannot-
want to know more.
I probably will miss work today.
Oh my.
Yeah, no.
Listen.
Jimmy did the thing with those flights.
Yeah?
Oh my
Definitely.
God.
The presentation was really nice.
It was.
Really nice. And I love that he gave us a breakdown too
Yes,
of
yes.
the different beers and just understanding what it takes in order to curate them and the process, like the length of time, especially the one, it's called the Pulsar
Yo,
Navigation.
she was loving this bottle.
I'm telling
She
you.
should
The
seen it.
bottle
She
is
was
so
being
sexy.
Really?
Vanna Black.
Yes.
Just, you know,
See,
modeling
I
the
am
bottle.
I love brewing. Like the
Yeah.
brewing process for beer, I love it. I am a big fan of it. So
Okay.
yeah,
You
so
would love
I'm
it.
That's how
jealous.
they
I'm
started.
And
super
it's a
jealous.
family-
But they
it's
went
family
through the
business.
process with you guys,
Yes.
right?
It's a family business.
That's a family business.
fantastic.
They started, so Jimmy and his brother started in their backyard.
Right
That's
after
awesome.
And it
college.
was right after college.
But you know
it
what?
was just
Most of
something they
them,
wanted
most
to
of
do.
them
Yeah.
do. Like that backyard or basement or garage. That's
And
where
then
they
to
all
have it
start.
in Newark, not too far from UD. Perfect.
Love
Yep.
it.
Perfect.
Love it.
I really enjoyed it. He even gave me like
What was your
old
favorite?
taste.
Yeah.
What was my favorite? My favorite was the one. Was it not New York State of Mind? That's Newark State of Mind.
Newark State of Mind.
There was
The
some-
Jay-Z lyric.
The Jay-Z lyric one was mine. That was good.
What
I
is it
really
called
enjoyed
again?
that. What was the which one did you
Say
like?
your vocab, something about your.
Oh, up your vocab.
Up your vocab.
Up your vocab. That was your fave?
That was his fave.
That was
Mine
his.
was the Pulsar Navigation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
okay.
was
Yeah.
very
I
delicious.
mean, I was downing it and wearing it. I
Yes.
was going in.
Well, if it's I forget what it is, but like they say the same thing about sandwiches. If it looks a mess, it's probably the most delicious thing you'll ever have.
believe me.
Listen,
So,
Jordan, if you go to work, to
all
Jordan's
right.
coworkers, if he smells a little like, some beer, you know
Judge
why.
your mother. Don't judge me.
You know
All right, I had a good time. All right.
No.
It was a really good time, though. It was a good time.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And thank you to Constitution Yards, and thank you so much, Autumn Arch. We had a great time. Thanks for hosting us, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Like
I know.
soon.
I'm gonna come over and
Definitely.
see you.
we
I'm just
definitely-
saying.
We definitely got to go.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun show. You
I know.
really
It was loads of
has.
fun.
Always fun.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
this is the way I love to start my Monday for sure.
No.
Best
And then
way
we
ever.
started with a beer.
Yeah.
I've never
Y'all
had
did.
beer.
I did not.
I'm gonna go. I'm
Early
gonna
in
go
the
to work
morning.
lit. Like, what's up?
You're gonna have a good Monday.
I am gonna have a good
I think I
Monday.
might need to take a nap before I do some work.
That's all right.
Yeah,
My
well,
eyes crossed.
Big shout out to DETV and Ive and the whole crew. Thank you
All right.
guys. Enjoy your Monday.
Good morning, Wilmington.